The visit. / this isn't my Reddit account. And I guess this isn't even my story. I mean, I'm in it, but I don't know where to start, but I got this phone last night. Or rather, I was given this phone. My name is Charlie. I'm in my 20s, and last night, I was coming home from a long shift at Cinemark when I passed by this strange man walking a dog. At least, I think it was a man. They were wearing a large coat, too large for this time of year in Texas, to be honest. And it was really late to be walking a dog, but when you've got to go, you've got to go. I gave this person a wide berth because their dog was on the bigger side. A husky, maybe. It also looked a little aggressive, almost wild. But as soon as I stepped to the side of the walkway, this person closed the distance incredibly fast. Before I could react, I was up against the wall, and this person's face was next to mine, not in front of my face, next to it. And for some reason, I couldn't move. My reactions aren't ever this slow. In fact, I had every intention of beating this shit out of this person as soon as I clocked that they were rushing me. I'm not defenseless. My hand was even balled into a fist, but when it came down to it, I couldn't land the blow. I couldn't do anything. I expected them to say something since they were right there. I could even feel their breath on me, but all they did was claw at my hand. I felt long, sharp nails break my fist open. I thought I was going to get stabbed or something, but they didn't hurt me. They just shoved something into my hand and walked away as quickly as they approached me. I just heard a tiny jingling of a dog collar, and they were gone. It took a moment for me to move, which was odd. My body was shaking, and yeah, of course, I was scared. I was also confused. And when I looked down at my hand, I saw what they had forced into my hand. An old iPhone with some sort of charm on it. You know, the things that hang from the side on a lid. This one was weird, though. It looked like a little finger. I looked closer. I don't know why, and sure enough, it was fashioned like a manicured thumb. Incredibly realistic, even with a little lobster clasp that hooked onto a finger bone. It actually looked pretty disgusting, but it might appeal to people who are into decaying-looking finger charms. I then turned my attention to the iPhone, but it was locked with a pin. It's that old model that unlocks with a fingerprint instead of facial recognition. And when I noticed that, I lost my grip on it and dropped the phone to the ground. Holy shit, was that a real thumb? Did that person walk around with a phone that was unlocked by a thumb fashioned into a phone charm? How did that even work if it was attached to a body? I should have walked away and called the police right there. But my fingerprints were on this phone now, and against my better judgment, I picked the phone back up and ran to my apartment. When I got inside, I locked the door and stood there with my back against it, staring at the phone in my hand. Thankfully, it had a case and still functioned. I verified that by tapping the screen and typing in some random numbers. I didn't guess the right pin, so I looked at the thumb on the keychain and placed it on the little circle. It was recognized. And this person's phone opened up to me. The solid black lock screen was replaced by a home screen showing an attractive-looking woman in her 20s standing in front of a dry erase board. She looked like a teacher. Happy, attractive. I found myself smiling as I explored the phone more, ignoring the finger phone charm that kept hitting the side of my hand as I looked through the installed apps. Or lack thereof. This was obviously jailbroken, as the only apps available were Reddit and the default Messages app. No settings, no ability to make a call, no other apps. Just an empty Messages app, with no way of sending a message to any number, and this Reddit account. So I did what anyone would, right? I scoured the post history on the phone, looking for any clues that might help. The posts about custom Crocs and working at ThinkGeek still baffle me. They seem so out of place, almost like someone was trying to blend in to appear normal. These were not really posts that I could imagine this happy teacher posting about, especially since she looked so pleasant in a classroom. Okay, yeah, I could imagine her bedazzling Crocs, but the post about working at a corporation? Maybe people change. After all, teaching in this country isn't what it used to be. No offense to her. They didn't seem to fit her persona. Maybe it wasn't even this girl's phone. And then I found 2 posts. The first 2 posts the account had ever made. 9 years ago, The Visit and The Visit Part 2. I read them a few times, and a few things stood out. There wasn't much detail, but something about the rooms in the apartment, the layout, the stairs, and the breezeway. It felt too familiar. And then there were some details that made me feel sick. A husky named Anya and a person, that visited this poor girl, and that's when I got a message notification. A loud ding drew my attention to the top of the screen. It was just one word: post. I couldn't respond to it. I couldn't even tap it to react to it. I stared at the message for a while and then received another one. Post, post, post. They kept coming in, post, post, post. And before I could even work out what to do, a loud thumping appeared at my door like someone was banging on it, trying to break in. Post, post, post. Okay, I'll post something, I yelled out. And the thumping stopped. The messages stopped. So I'm writing this up and about to press post. What will happen after this, though? I moved into this apartment building last week. New to me. The building has been here for at least 15 years. It's the first time I've ever had a place to myself, and I wish I felt alone. But I don't. I know someone here watching me. And I don't think it's the first time something like this has happened in this apartment building. I've tried reaching out to people who commented on the original posts 9 years ago, but some of those accounts haven't had posts in years. Some are closed. The few people who have responded to my messages just think it's some elaborate creepypasta. No one seems to take it seriously, and I can't blame them. This whole thing sounds ridiculous. I know it's a long shot, but please let me know if you ever interacted with this account, or know the teacher who had this account before me, or even what happened to her. All I know is she lived in Texas, and she had a husky named Anya. I saw some of the comments mentioned she probably shouldn't mix whiskey with whatever meds she was taking. So I'm posting this for now, and maybe I'll try checking hospital records later this week. But without a name, I don't expect much. And that's assuming this visitor story is even true. I'd upload a screenshot of the phone background, but that function has been disabled, probably by whatever jailbreaking nuked all the normal applications on this phone. Wish me luck. So here it is. I'm posting. To whoever it is who keeps messaging me, I'm doing what you want. You never told me what to post.